But moving on to Avatar, have you watched any more of it?
No, I don't want to.
I don't either, but I'm doing it for the podcast.
That's real. That's real.
And it's just like it's not even that bad. It's just so mediocre, which is arguably worse than bad.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's like it's so me. Like if it was really bad, then I would keep watching it so I could make fun of it.
It would at
because
least
it's
be
like
entertaining.
terrible.
Like at least
But it's
bad
like,
is at least entertaining. Good, of course, is entertaining, but mediocre is just boring.
it's right. It's so mid, like middle of the road. It's bland.
Yeah.
It's like the porridge of live action remakes.
Yeah, sometimes it just feels nice to watch because it's nice having more Avatar, but then it's just like, bruh, it just makes me want to watch the original. But I need to.
Right.
I'm gonna after I finish watching this, I'm just gonna go back, finish watching Korra, and then go back and watch the original, and then watch Korra again.
As you should.
But yes, in the second episode, they go to Kyoshi Island, and they cut out the whole sexism arc with Sokka, and instead they focus on like Suki wanting to like experience the world, and her mother not letting her, and like it is her awkward flirting with Sokka is pretty funny, but they were just way too busy setting up the romance between her and Sokka that they just said forget the sexism arc, it doesn't matter. Exposition in the show is delivered so clunkily and is clearly there to just push the story along instead of excuse me instead of
You're good.
what was I about to say? I lost track of my notes. Instead of just being given naturally, it's very weird. I do like how they explain the Avatar state in this episode in comparison to Korra's retcon, which I will always hate. With it being the accumulated strength of every Avatar, not just a power up given from like a single powerful spirit, which I never like that retcon. I really don't like season 2 of Legend of Korra. Season 1 is great. Season 3 is perfection. Season 4 is okay. It has some of the best action in the entire series, but story wise, it's not as good as 1 and 2. But season 2, 2 and 1 and 3. But season 2, it has its moments, but overall, it just ruins a lot of things for me in terms of like lore of the show and the series. Oh yeah, and people like to try like blame. I admit I used to also be that way. Blame Korra for the loss of like the connections to the previous Avatar series, but like she didn't do it on purpose. It was literally ripped away from her by Vatu and Unalaq. Like she didn't do it on purpose. Like she didn't go out of her way to do this. And people are trying to compare her losing access to the previous spirits to Roku having failed to stop his former best friend from causing a war that killed all of the air nomads.
I was just about to say, like, the two things are not even comparable.
Not
at all.
Not at all. Like, Avatar Yang Chen was so focused on humans and spirits that she just she was so focused on humans that spirits became evil, and then Avatar Korra, the waterbending avatar after her, focusing on stopping those evil spirits, ended up letting human criminals take over the world, and then Avatar, what's the Earthbender Avatar's name again? Kyoshi. Avatar Kyoshi.
Right.
I actually remember like that.
It was a lot. Yeah.
And then she just had to take care of all the human criminals. Like it was just so many avatars have already done so many bad things. Like
I was gonna say that's the whole point. It's like every avatar has a thing that they do that makes it harder for the next avatar. It's the point of the bit.
And also Korra didn't really even do anything that bad. Like maybe something she's done might have. Like also, we of course haven't seen the entirety of her life. This might be something she's done later in life that might ruin something for the next avatar. But also, of course, we haven't seen the consequences of the stuff that she has already done. And like Aang didn't even really do anything that bad, really.
He really didn't.
The only thing he did was like leave Yakon alive, but it's like he doesn't kill people, so what was he supposed to do? Just like execute him? Right. So yeah. What else was there? I did want to say that the costume design is pretty good. But the it looks very accurate to the cartoon, but without looking like it belongs in a cartoon. Like it looks like it's a very good translation of those designs to live action.
Good.
The fight choreography is trash. At least in this specific episode. I don't know if it gets better later. Because I do hear some people talk about some of the fights being good, or at least one of the fights being good. And it just exemplifies even further how they completely missed how entrenched in martial arts bending is. despite how much more easily they could have conveyed that through live action. Like, hand-to-hand combat works so well in live action, even more than animation. It's one of the few things you can genuinely say can be done better in live action. And they refuse to even do that one thing good. Like I said last time, the best way to do a live action adaptation is to actively do things different, with like by adding further context to certain situations and characters and their arcs that make it feel fresh and new without completely changing the story. Whereas this show is just not only retreading the same ground, but doing it worse and removing important things rather than adding things. They're taking away things, and that sucks.